How many snaps did they run in the 14 personnel?
That's only for us.
100% of the snaps.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome into 14P Fantasy. I am your host, Justin Wright. Today, we are talking start or sit for the running back position for week 1 of the playoffs. Hopefully you're not in your consolation bracket trying to avoid a punishment right now, but if you are, still useful, obviously. Before we get into it, though, remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel, like the video, drop questions, comments, all that kind of stuff. Also, go ahead, follow us on Twitter at Justin_14P and then at 14P_fantasy. So you always know when videos are dropping. All right, let's get into it. Week 1 of the playoffs are here. First on our list is Melvin Gordon versus the Cincinnati Bengals. And I get it. I understand we all want Javonte Williams to be the lead back forever. He is incredible. Melvin Gordon is still really damn good, and he's not going away this season. As long as he's healthy, Melvin Gordon is going to have a role in the Denver backfield and in fantasy. Most likely he is a back-end RB2, which is what we have him as here. But last week, coming off of an injury, he out-touched Javonte Williams. He outsnapped Javonte Williams, just barely. But it's a 50-50 split. It doesn't matter. I mean, game script was very much in Melvin Gordon's favor here. Obviously, Javonte gets a lot of the pass work, but Melvin Gordon still has a role in that game either way. So if you have Melvin Gordon, you can play him. I mean, he's an RB2 with all the injuries, with all the guys on the COVID list, especially this week, which is ridiculous. Melvin Gordon is going to be very relevant for fantasy. The only downside in this matchup is the Bengals over the last month are a bottom 3 matchup for running backs. So they are limiting running backs in fantasy especially. So either Melvin Gordon or Javonte Williams, or even both, they have bust potential. This is not a smash matchup like it has been in years past. The Bengals defense is good now. Trey Hendrickson is hurt. Maybe he misses time, and maybe that, opens up some holes on the defensive end, on the defensive front. But either way, Melvin Gordon is a nice boom or bust RB2 for week 1 of the playoffs. Moving on to people you just shouldn't even be looking at. If you're playing them, you already lost, guys. It's if you're relying on Matt Breida, Devin Singletary, Zach Moss, who's never active, whatever. Sit all of the running backs. This matchup itself is just gross. It's a bottom 3 matchup on the season. Over the last month, they've eased up, but Carolina's still a good run defense. And we all just saw it against Tampa. Josh Allen is the running back here. QB draws, QB sneaks, whatever you want to call him. He's the running back. Devin Singletary will get some touches. That's fine. Breida's going to get some pass work, some touches. Sure. Not enough to be relevant, though. The running backs had 7 total carries against Tampa. Game script wasn't in their favor, but still, 7 carries. They didn't have a single carry in the first half, I don't think. So if you have them, if you're even considering them, don't go anywhere else. Moving on, we have James Robinson versus Houston, and last week was as bad as humanly possible. It does not get worse than last week for James Robinson, and because of that, I'm going to go back to him against Houston. I get it, Urban Meyer's an idiot, Jacksonville sucks, but James Robinson is talented. Houston is terrible against the run. We just saw Rashad Penny absolutely obliterate them. And over the last month, Houston is allowing over 150 yards a game on the ground. They've allowed 6 touchdowns, and they allow pass catching work. And again, this game should be, close. It should be a competitive matchup because it's 2 bad teams. So the chances of Robinson getting scripted out are so low that you don't really have to worry about what happened last week. He is a low-end RB2, but because of the matchup, he does carry very high upside. He has league-winning upside or week-winning upside in the playoffs. So if I roster James Robinson and I'm not extremely deep, I'm going to play him as a potential top 20 running back this week. Moving on, we have Chuba Hubbard, and he gets Buffalo. Not a great matchup. We know that, or it shouldn't be. However, over the last month, Buffalo is a top 3 matchup for running backs. They have been torched on the ground, giving up touchdowns, yards, receptions. everything you can imagine. Do I think Hubbard, goes off and is a superstar running back this week? No, that's why he's coming as a flex. But the way Carolina has to play Buffalo is keep ball control, run the ball, because their offense is bad. They have to keep Buffalo off the field, and that's how they win. So Chuba Hubbard has a chance for volume here, and that's what you're looking for. If he falls into the end zone, he carries RB2 upside, obviously, as does really any running back. But the volume should keep him in the flex conversation. The downside is, Amir Abdullah really does have the pass-catching volume here. That seems to be his role on this offense right now, which does limit Hubbard. But still, the rushing volume could be there, if they play this the way they should, which is, again, keeping the ball out of Buffalo's hands. If they can do that, Hubbard could return flex value in deeper leagues. Yeah, two more guys here. Moving on, we have Rhamondre Stevenson versus the Colts. So as of right now, they play Saturday. Damian Harris has practiced, and that's obviously huge. However, even if Harris suits up, and I'm not sure if he does still, he's not going to be 100%. I don't think Belichick is going to push Damian Harris particularly hard, which means Stevenson could have a larger role than we typically see. If Damian Harris is out, Stevenson's an RB2. But for now, let's treat it as if Harris is active. Stevenson, instead of 10 to 15 touches, could see 15 to 18. Have maybe some more red zone work. Maybe they don't split every other drive and they go 2 for Stevenson, 1 for Harris, and limit his workload. Either way, the whole point is Rhamondre Stevenson should see an uptick in work, given that Harris is not going to be 100%. The downside is obviously it is a bad matchup, but the running backs for New England kind of does whatever it wants. We saw it against Buffalo. They just bullied the hell out of them. And, if they want to run the ball, they're going to run the ball. So although it is probably, a bottom 4 or 5 matchup for running backs, I do think you can play Stevenson for the touchdown upside and just the rushing upside in general. He has a chance to make a mark in the fantasy playoffs here. And to close us out, I'm back to Saquon Barkley. I'm doing it again. Last week, he was a high-end RB2 for us, and I get it. Mike Glennon's there. Mike Glennon sucks. The whole Giants organization is terrible. I'm going to trust Saquon Barkley. This is a game Dallas should jump out early. They should lead. They should kick the crap out of them, which means you're going to get plenty of Saquon Barkley dump-offs. You'll get him running against some easy fronts, some, very few loaded boxes as long as they keep, playing soft coverage and really just play not to lose, because that's all you have to do against the Giants to beat them. So Barkley carries that high floor, and then as always, he has the home run ability that could score him 18 points, 20 points, 25 points, whatever it is. I get Barkley questions every week, and my answer is always just start Saquon Barkley. I get it. It hasn't been very fun in the playoffs. This is where the dumb test comes in. If you watch some of our other videos, it's important. Are you going to feel dumb if you lose and Saquon Barkley goes off on your bench? The answer is probably yes, so you play Saquon Barkley in the playoffs. All right, everybody, that is all I have for you. As always, guys, thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow us over on Twitter, like the video, questions, comments, all that good stuff. All right, again, thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.
How many snaps did they run in the 14 personnel?
That's only for us.
100% of the snaps.